This is the Star Wars The Black Series, Episode 4, Obi Wan Kenobi, the regular release, not the San Diego Comic Convention figure. I do want that figure because of that electronic base, that projector table, whatever. I want it, honestly. I've been trying to look for it out here in Manila. Prices are just ridiculous. I'm trying to get one at a decent price. So it's number 32. And here's a little bit of the bio if you want to read it and pause it. Okay. I apologize. There's something wrong with this figure, at least the one I got. I'll talk about that later. I'm hoping it's just on my figure, but we'll see. Let's talk about the figure in general first. I think it's exactly the same figure as the one we got for SDCs. I don't know for sure because I don't have that figure. I've seen reviews of it. The brown feels a little bit lighter on this one. The beige texture, the yellow, the shade of yellow is kind of a little bit darker on this one based on the reviews I've seen, but I can't be too sure. Lightsaber feels the same. It has that flared peg so that the blade doesn't just fall off that easily. So it looks the same. Here is the episode 3 Obi Wan Kenobi. As you can see, it's a much better lightsaber. And yeah, it's a different mold altogether. I thought they would just recycle the mold. This is actually a highly detailed a mold that's more detailed by far than this one. It's the same height, I think. Oh, he is a little bit shorter. Wow. Must be the boots. Or, yeah, people shrink when you grow old, right? Yeah. I thought they would just recycle bits and pieces here and there, but they didn't. The robe is removable, so it goes to say, without saying, that I'm sure you can probably put it on that guy if you wanted to. Are we going to do it? Why don't we do it? If Hasbro does not make their episode 2 Obi Wan Kenobi, sorry about dust, you can have this one. You can pair him up with Django. You just cover him up like that, and he has that. The beard is, I think, much bigger one in episode 2. So yeah, I could kind of work. Yeah. Okay. So we'll get rid of that. Okay. Put him here, or yeah, just keep him right there. Okay. Onto the figure itself. If you want some more size comparison, here he is with C-3PO. And his ward, Luke Skywalker. Wow, Luke is so tall. Really? Wow. I think they misscaled this one. Anyway, it looks great. The detail on it, there's a little bit of a wash. It's not a plain yellow plastic. They use a little bit of a wash on it. As you can see, the detailed boots, it's just one colored plastic. Some detail almost everywhere. Very nice. It's a textured plastic. It's not smooth. There's a little bit of a grainy texture to it. The head sculpt, wow. Sir Alec Guinness. Sir Alec Guinness. Wow. Very nice. One of the figures I was actually looking forward to. All right, articulation. Now, I did get some comments in some of my Star Wars film about articulation. People are saying I don't do this enough just to say the articulation. There you go. I mean, just to show how far the legs are going to go and the knee. Okay, there. Honestly, I think it's a waste of time. Now, some people need to see it. Okay, I'm not, it's fine, totally fine. Some people need to see how far the elbow is going to go, how far this thing is going to go, like that. To me, as a collector, what's important to me is articulation. If you tell me there's a ball joint neck, it's a ball joint that is on a hinge, I can already imagine what it can do or cannot do. I don't need somebody to show it to me. If they say it's a ball jointed waist, fine. If there's a waist swivel, I say there's a waist swivel. I don't need people telling me to demonstrate it. I think my imagination can already jump to that conclusion. There is a, yeah, it feels like there's a separate waist piece. Yep, there is. Or no. Nope, it's a solid piece. Oh no, it does move. It does move. Okay. So there's a little bit of a waist swivel there. Ball joint hips, I can already imagine what it can and cannot do. A thigh swivel, double jointed knees, can go that. I just tell me it has double joint knees, I'm already happy. I know what it is. A ball hinge, rockers, ankle joints, yeah. I kind of know what it can do. So that's why I don't talk about the range of motion of the figure. I don't need to show it for me because honestly, I don't need to see it. If you tell me there's a hinge joint, I know what it is. A ball hinge elbow, I kind of know what it is. So I'm sorry to belabor the point, but some of you are asking why I don't do that, and that's because I think it's kind of a bit of a waste of time for me to see it. As long as you tell me there's a ball jointed upper torso, I know what it is. It's a ball jointed hip. Yep. If I say it's a ball hinge, it's a ball hinge hip, then I know that there's a peg somewhere right there. If it's a ball joint, there's just a single ball joint, then there's the leg is just cupped over it. That's fine. Double jointed knees, come on. Do you need to show how far it'll go? It's not Revel Tech, but you know, I get it. Some people need it, but honestly, I already talked too much. I'd like to talk more about the detail of the figure, my opinion about the figure, and that's what I'd like to focus on. And articulation to me is a little bit of a technical side. So yeah, so if I say the wrists have ball hinges, this one goes in and out, I kind of know what it does. I don't really need somebody to tell me how far it'll go. As long as it can go that way and twist, I'm happy. Okay, so that's it. Now speaking of articulation, now I'm not sure if this is what really brought this figure down for me. I'm not sure if it's a factory error, because I'm trying to figure out if it is. Or if it's something that Hasbro just messed around with. Let me put this one away. I keep hitting this guy. Sorry. Point your lightsaber somewhere else, Obi Wan. Okay. You'll notice there's a slight difference in the elbow, and this is my gripe. This one can move. Okay. I'm not done yet. This one looks like it's a ball hinge. It looks like it's a hinge joint, right? There's a swivel, but it doesn't want to move. And I'm guessing, did the paint just dry up? Did they forget? I don't know. So I popped it off. And as you can see, it's a solid piece. I'm hoping this is a factory defect, because look at this. You try and cut it, it's a darn solid piece. Be careful, kids, when you're using a box cutter. You're gonna cut yourself. Look at that. It's solid. It's a solid piece. It's never gonna be a joint. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding of the way these things are made, they have molds for each piece. So the hand mold will have a separate, the hand will have a separate mold. That little teeny tiny wrist joint will have a separate mold. For instance, this particular piece, that elbow joint, is a separate molded piece. This one is a separate molded piece. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I understood it. This one feels like it's been molded in one piece. It's like there's a separate mold for just the forearm and a separate mold for just this, and they had to create another mold with the combined one to make it look like a hinge joint. That's just horrible, Hasbro. Trying to keep this review PG, but that's just horrible. You guys are just being horrible about it. If this is not just, I'm hoping it's a factory issue. I'm hoping I got a quality control, a defect, and you know, I can always just buy another one and it'll be good. I'll still feel mad because I spent on something, a defective product. And usually here in Manila, there are no returns. You can return, but it's very cumbersome. Not like in the US. But it's, you know, I'll probably just end up looking for another one. And I'm hoping that one will have a functional joint. But from the way this thing looks, I know I'm jumping to conclusions. I should get another figure and check. But just with using my own whatever intelligence I have, it feels like they created a separate mold to make it look like, to make this false hinge joint. That's what it feels. Because I know if it were just a factory defect, it would be two separate pieces that just fuse or something like that. I don't think they mold it like this, and then in the factory they're just gonna cut it, and then they're gonna separate it, and then it's gonna be no. I think they mold this hinge joint separately, and they mold this one separately. That's how you do it. And this feels like they created another mold for a pseudo hinge, which is just cruel and horrible, Hasbro. I'm without words. This has never happened to me. I mean, I've seen bad paint apps. I've seen like both right shoulders or both left shoulders, but this one is just I don't know what to make of it. It's like I've seen them do it in some of the Marvel figures when they were trying to cut costs, but both elbows will have no joints or both knees will lose a joints. But this is crazy. This is a Black Series figure. I don't understand why you had to remold it this way. So I'm hoping it's wrong. I'm hoping I just got my idea about it is wrong. I'm hoping I just got a defect. So somebody, if you've already gotten your regular release of the Obi Wan Kenobi, the episode 4 Obi Wan Kenobi, please tell me. I'm hoping you'll tell me I'm wrong, that I just got a factory defect, and then I just should find another one and replace it. So with that, that ends this review. If it had a hinge, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. If I'm right and they really lost that left elbow hinge, this is a 6. This is crazy. You do not do this to Black Series figures. So there you go, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this little video review. I'm going to try and get another Obi Wan Kenobi. Oh, best of luck with that. This one is the third one to go. Revan is the first. Sabine is the next. This one is the third figure to go. And if I'm lucky enough to find another one, I'll make sure to do another review and compare it. And I'll tell you guys what the verdict is. But as it is, I am pissed off. I think it's just... I mean, just having quality issues for a Black Series figure, I mean, it should not exist. I mean, you should not do that. Quality control should be very high, but to do that's just, I don't know. It escapes me. I'm gonna shut up now because I'm probably gonna say something that's rated R and it's not gonna work out. Okay, there you go, folks. The Star Wars The Black Series Episode 4, the Obi Wan Kenobi regular release. Thanks for watching.